Good morning, students. I am Sainath Chaitanya, Assistant Professor in Department of ECE. I invite you to the microcontroller interfacing laboratory. So the first experiment is how to interface your 89V51RD2 microcontroller with LEDs. For this implementation purpose, we are going to use a hardware kit called Oasis and the software for programming your microcontroller I am using here Triton IDE, that is Integrated Development Environment. In the Oasis hardware kit, or simply I am going to call it as an Oasis kit, inside the kit I am having 8051 microcontroller and its 4 ports like P0, P1, P2, P3. Apart from the microcontroller and its ports, I can able to find still more number of components. The components may be LEDs, LCD, 7-segment display as well as keypad also I can able to find out, apart from the reset and clock generating circuits. Right. Now, according to our today's discussion, like how to interface your 8051 microcontroller with LEDs, we should know what is the working principle of the LED. The working principle of the LED is based on electroluminance. What is this electroluminance is? As the value of current passing through the LED increases, the brightness of your LED correspondingly increases. That means the luminance is proportional to the input or incoming current here. Okay. Now, the cut-in voltage for the LED is 1.3 volts and the response time for your LED will be generally in microseconds. So these are the features of your LED, and according to today's experiment, how I am going to interface your 8051 microcontroller with LED, that is our today's discussion. Okay. Now, as we are aware that each and every port of 8051 microcontroller having a significant role. Of course, all the ports P0, P1, P2 and P3 are 8-bit ports only. That means each and every port is having 8 pins. And each port like P0, P1, P2, P3 are the 8-bit ports, where P1 is doing only as an or acting only as an IO port. Remaining P0 port, P2 port as well as the P3 port, they will be doing the dual works or the dual job. Like whenever if I want to access the external memory, the port P0 basically which was an IO port, now this port P0 will be turned as a lower order address bus. And similarly port 2, whenever I am going to access some external memory, this port P2 is acting now as a higher order address bus. Coming to the P3, this P3 is used for interfacing to the external environment. So, whenever your external environment is providing or is communicating with microcontroller, that is 8051, communication is nothing but some external environment can interrupt your microcontroller or can want to have any serial communication with your 8051 microcontroller, or if your 8051 microcontroller want to have an access to the external memory. Okay, so in this scenario, port 3 will take care of everything. Port 3 significance comes here. That means each and every pin of your port 3, that is P3.0 to P3.7, each and every pin plays here a significant role. That is P3.0 is used for receiving purpose, 3.1 is used for the transmitting purpose, this is for interrupt 0 and this is used for interrupt 1, next timer 0, next it is timer 1 and P3.6 that is for writing and P3.7 is for reading. That means here each and every pin of your port 3 is having a special feature apart from acting as a simple IO port. So these are the pins that are highly required to communicate with your external environment. So this is my port 3. Now, according to the experiment, here I have used 8051 port 1. This port 1 is already inbuilt or internally connected with your LEDs which are present in your Oasis kit. That means I can say that the port 1 of your microcontroller is hardware confined with the corresponding LEDs that are present in your microcontroller. Internally they are connected, I can say. Now, how to write the programming 8051 microcontroller such that the LEDs will be interfaced. So for doing the programming, what I have mentioned is we are using a software called Triton IDE. In the Triton IDE text editor, I am going to develop the instruction set. Instructions or commands or programming I am going to develop here in the text editor. So whenever I am writing a program here, I am having two different or two unique styles of programming. One is a normal programming technique and the second one is SFR programming technique. In the normal programming technique, I am just directly going to use or going to assign the values of hexadecimal values directly to my port P0, P1, P2 or P3. But in the SFR, that is S-bit programming technique, I am using each and every pin of your port because the 8051 microcontroller is having a special feature that it is bit accessible as well as the byte accessible. In the normal programming technique, I will be using byte accessible like 0x3f. This data is byte accessible. Okay, that means port 1 is accessing a byte. Byte is nothing but 2 nibbles. F is a lower nibble here and decimal 3 is a higher nibble. So a combination of these two is a byte. So that is why the port 1 is accessing a byte. And coming to the SFR, for example, so let me, instead of 0x3f, what I would like to take as 0x0202, let me write as 02. That means this corresponding binary value will be this one. Okay, that means P1.0 value is this one, P1.1 value is this one, P1.2, P1.3 and up to so on up to P1.6, 1.7 is. Okay, so SFR I mentioned you, it is bit accessible. What is the programming style I am going to utilize? I am going to use is S-bit yet. So P1.0, this P1.0 address location will be where? This address location of your port 1 will be in the special function registers which are present above your RAM, above your internal RAM. So port 1 P1.0 address location will be at 0x90. So for this address location, I would like to give some name, okay, variable name. I am going to give the variable name as small a. Similarly, for remaining 7 pins 0x91 up to 0x97. So if I have given this one as this address location, if I used a variable called a, whenever a variable is there means I should recall that the corresponding address location for this a is at 0x90. Similarly, the address location for 0x91, this address location I am going to call this address location with the help of a variable called b. Similarly, a, b, c, d, e, f, g, h. So the last one is h. In this way, for each and every bit of your port 1, I have given separate names. Okay, that means a particular, like we are having AB2 block. AB2 block is there in the RGKT campus, but I don't know where is this AB2. That means I can say that at that location some building is there. But what is the building name? I don't know. The building name I have given it later as AB2 block, academic block 2. That location everyone can able to recognize. But if I want to recognize that location easily means it is always a better idea to give the name for your particular address location. Okay, similarly the same concept goes here, like 0x90 address location is being recognized by a variable called a, and this is 0x91b, and similarly 0x97 I have taken as h here. Okay, now this according to the normal programming style, a byte accessible feature is present, but in the SFR style, bit accessible feature is present. Okay, P1 equal to 0x02. This is the data that I have given to my port 1, because port 1, port 0, port 3 as well as port 2, these all are acting as an IO ports. That means they can act as an input port and they can also act as an output port depending upon the requirement. So among all these things, P1.1 is this bit, P1.1 bit is logic 1 and the remaining all will be logic 0. That means, can I say B equal to 1 and remaining A equal to C equal to D equal to E equal to F equal to G equal to H equal to 0? In this manner, I can do the programming. Okay, this is a bit accessible and this is the byte accessible. Okay, let us enter into how to do the programming for your 8051 microcontroller in order to interface with your LEDs now. Okay, so before writing any program, like for example, if you are writing a program in the C language, the first and the foremost instruction that what you are going to write is including your header file. But here my header file will be include 8051.h. Okay, then what is the significance of including the header file? Like for example, if in the C language hash include stdio.h is the header file, that is what I am using. stdio represents it is a standard input as well as the standard output. Okay, so in between the programming, some or the other way, I definitely going to use a two function calls called printf and scanf. Printf and scanf, I don't have the definition inside my void main program of the C language, but the printf and the scanf, which are the standard library functions whose definition will be present in your stdio.h header file. That means all the standard library functions definitions I can able to find in the header files. Okay. Now hash include 8051.h. After this one, okay, I am just demonstrating you how to write a normal programming technique. Now the next instruction what I am going to write is void main. Void main. Okay. Now if I want the activity, okay, let me write P1, that is capital P here, port 1. If it is 0x00, and by providing some delay here, let the delay is 2 seconds. Okay, immediately I am going to write one more instruction, that is P1 equal to 0xFF, and this will be present for this much amount of time, again delay of 2 seconds. Okay, now inside my program I have used here two instructions. So in the first instructions, as your port 1, each and every pin of your port 1 is connected to the corresponding LED of your Oasis kit. That means P1.0 is connected to here, P1.1, 1.2 and up to 1.7 is connected to the last LED. That means, can I say these all are like in a straight action, in a proportionate action? That means whenever your P1.0 pin is having logic 1 here, immediately your LED, this lowest LED will be giving the light. And similarly, whenever your P1.7 is P1.7 pin or the bit is logic 1, the corresponding 8 LED will be giving the light. Okay, this is a proportionate action will be happen here. Why? Because port 1 of your 8051 microcontroller is hardware confined with your LEDs. That is the reason. Okay. So that means, can I say by this instruction P1 equal to 0x00, at this time all my LEDs are in off state? Yes. And after 2 seconds, P1 equal to 0xFF, all my LEDs are, which were earlier in the off state, are turned into the on state. That means all are giving the light now. So this will be for again delay of 2 seconds. Okay. Now just close your brace, flower bracket. Okay. Now the activity happens. That means for the first 2 seconds it is off, and after completing the 2 seconds it will be on. But if I want the continuous blinking, like continuous blinking of your LEDs, like on, off, on. Next, this I can write here. Okay, I am just drawing here one LED. So this is on, off, and next is on, next is off, next is on. That means all these LEDs at first instant it will be off, next on, again off, again on, again off, again on. This scenario, if I want to have, means I need to use a loop called while loop, which is an indefinite loop. That means the activity will be continuously going to happen. What is the activity? Blinking of the LED, on, off, on, off, on, off, up to infinite amount of time. Okay. So what is happening here is, I am writing these entire instructions. Okay. I have used here a function called delay. If I have used in the main program any function calls, I need to provide a definition for it. Okay. Now I am going to provide a definition for your void delay. In this manner I need to provide int p. Because I am taking inside the argument a parameter, I am taking this p is a parameter, it is of type integer. Okay. So whenever I am defining anything, I shouldn't keep any semicolon, because I didn't have any semicolon whenever I am defining the main function here. In the similar manner, whenever I am defining any function, I shouldn't keep any semicolon. Now I am going to define the void delay function. Let me take 2 more extra variables like int I, comma j for I, comma j, comma k. One more variable also I would like to take here. Int for I equal to 0, I is less than p, I plus plus. Okay. Now again let me use 2 more for loops. For my conveniency, I would like to write here for I equal to 0, I is less than p, I plus plus, and the next is 2 more for loops, that is for j equal to 0, j is less than some 255 or 250, whatever the value, j plus plus, whatever the value it is in your hands. Next. One more for loop, also I would like to take I k equal to 0, k is less than 250, something, some value, k plus plus. Okay, now close this for loop, because I have a flower bracket here, I am closing flower bracket, and for the void delay also one more flower bracket was there. So I am using one more flower bracket to close the definition for my void delay. Whenever I am closing the definition, before closing your flower bracket and before using your flower bracket, I have to definitely use the semicolon, which indicates that the definition have been completed. Now, if I assume that these for loops, these 2 for loops are going to provide a practical time of 1 second. Okay. That means these 2 for loops, this j equal to 0, j is less than 250, j plus plus, k equal to 0, k is less than 250, k plus plus. That means j here is undergoing some iterations and k is also undergoing some iterations. That means here this complete loop is undergoing an iterations of 250 into 250. That is 62500. Okay. So these are the iterations it is undergoing, these 2 for loops. Now if the output of these iterations, if it is going to generate a practical time of 1 second, 1 second here. I am just assuming, I am not granting this one, I am just assuming. Okay. Now let us come back here. Void delay into p, a parameter I have taken which is of type integer. Now in the main program I have used delay of 2, and here also I have used delay of 2. So the value present in the argument is passed to the formal parameter during your function definition. Whenever the parameter is getting the value, this value is extracted inside your program or the inside your definition of your void delay. That means in the void delay, wherever my p variable is there, the value of the p variable is being replaced here. That means here I will be having I equal to 0, I is less than to I plus plus. What I finally would like to say is p1 equal to 0x00 will be for 2 seconds amount of time, and after that p1 equal to 0xff will be again for 2 seconds amount of time. That means first 2 seconds it will be off, and for the next 2 seconds it will be on. Why? Because these two for loops are giving me or producing me or generating me, I can say, a 1 second amount of time. And I am also having the outside for loop. One more for loop is also present outside, such that the value of the for loop is for I equal to 0, I is less than to I plus plus. Finally, these entire tree for loops are going to generate or going to give me a delay of p seconds here. P seconds, what is the value of p here? 2 seconds. That in this manner I can develop or I can define the function. I can define the delay function. Okay, that is why this is the significant role the delay function with the formal parameter is playing inside the program. Okay, once I have defined the delay function, okay, but still I can able to find the bug inside the program. What is the bug here is, as of course as I have already defined the definition, but I didn't declare that function here. So function declaration also plays a crucial role. That is void delay, whatever the same thing I will be writing here with semicolon. If you are able to see this kind of instruction in the program, means it is a function declaration. So incomplete I can say in my program I am having function declaration, function call, as well as the function definition. All these things are present inside my program. So this completes your normal programming technique. And how the SFR programming technique now I am going to demonstrate. This SFR programming technique, I said you that we are going to use the concept of sbit underscore at 0x. Which port I am using here? Port 1. So port 1 physical address location is starting from 0x90, and similarly I need to define or I have to use the variable for all the address locations, like from 0x91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96 and 97. The same sbit will be repeated here. So this address location, let me give the name for this address location as A. This is my B, C, D and E, F, G, H. So 8 address locations. For each and every address location I can recognize with the help of a variable. Now what is happening here is, let me open the program. Okay, before it I have to declare the function declaration, that is delay function declaration. If I would like to take a parameter, I can take int p, I can take here. Okay, now without taking the formal parameter also we can do the programming. Let be I don't have any argument present inside or otherwise I don't have any parameters inside the argument. So let me open the program, void main. If I want the activity to be in continuous format, let me use the while loop. Okay, while, okay. Now I am not going to use here any more P1 port because it is an SFR programming technique. So I have to use the variables which I have defined for the address locations. So in the earlier case, yeah, all your P1 is equal to 0, all your port 1 pins are equal to 0. That means A equal to B equal to C equal to D equal to F equal to G equal to H. This will be present for some amount of time, delay of some amount of time. Okay. Now again, after completing that time, all your respective pins of your port 1 will be turned on, which is nothing but all your LEDs will be coming into on position, or they will be giving the light, and this will be sustained for some amount of time. Again, close your bracket, and this will be continuous activity like off on for certain amount of time, delay here. Okay, void main completed everything. Now the definition of your function call, that is void delay. You can write a definition like this: for int p or int I equal to 0, I is less than 50, I plus plus. And one more for loop: for int j equal to 0, j is less than 80, j plus plus. Just you have to definitely use the semicolon, which indicates that the definition is completed. Because if I don't include here the semicolon and if I write directly the closed bracket, means it is of no use. Because the delay function definition have to be completed, means I should use here the semicolon, which indicates definition has completed. And so I said you that all these variables are equal to 0. That means all your LEDs are equal to 0, and this will be sustained for certain amount of time. So this, once the delay function is called in the program, I have definitely where will the control will be searching where the definition is provided. That means where the delay function definition is provided, the control will search now. So this void delay, inside it I am having two for loops for int I equal to 0 and j equal to 0, I is less than 50, j is less than 80, I plus plus and j plus plus. That if the delay is going to give or provide me a practical time of 5 seconds, I am just assuming that the delay is providing a practical seconds of 5 milliseconds or 5 seconds or whatever it is. Let me go with 2 milliseconds. Okay. So I am not telling that it is granted, okay, because you have to substitute certain values for I is less than something and j is less than something. After substituting some decimal values, it is your job to find out for what values, if I like for example I is less than x and j is less than y, for what values of x and y I am practically able to get 1 second amount of time. Okay, that is your job. And for the assumption purpose, this void delay is going to provide a total 4000 iterations, like 50 cross 80 is 4000 iterations. And if these iterations are going to give me a practical 2 milliseconds of time, practical time of 2 milliseconds, that means I can say my LEDs will be off for 2 milliseconds, and after the 2 milliseconds my all LEDs will be logical one for the next 2 milliseconds. And you can perform the interfacing of your 8051 microcontroller with the LEDs. And the assignment work, what you can do here is you can make all your LEDs off on for certain amount of time, and you can make all your even LEDs on, odd LEDs off. And in the next time, in the next iteration, in the next instance, what you can do, you can make all your even LEDs in off and odd LEDs in the on state. You can able to generate, or you can make, or you can develop the program such that I am having here 8 LEDs. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Such that you can develop a pattern or a scenario that follows like this. 255. 0 to 255. That means the corresponding hexadecimal value of 0 is 00H and the corresponding hexadecimal value for the 255 is FFH. That means in between I am having, including the 00H as well as the FFH, I am having totally 256 different combinations. That means 256 different combinations means 256 number of different patterns of LEDs I can make blink, or I can make the LEDs to glow. Like for the 00H, all your LEDs will be 00, and for 01H only the lowest LED will be on. 256 times I can develop the scenario. Okay, so these are the experiments I can able to perform by using interfacing of your 8051 microcontroller with LEDs. Okay, that is the topic discussion, and let us move to the hardware part. Thank you for today.
Today we are going to interface our LEDs with our microcontroller 89V51RD2, and this is the board which we are going to use for our experiment, and this is Oasis board. And here you can see this 89V51RD2 microcontroller, and here there are 4 peripherals here. One is keyboard, LEDs, LCD and 7-segment display on board. Apart from them, we also have some add-on boards which we will be dealing them later. So I mean, to implement a program or to make this board working, we need to have some software to be written, and to write that software we need to access Triton IDE, and to activate the Triton IDE we also have some licensed dongles which are called as USB dongles. This is the type of one we will be providing you when you are coming to our lab, and without this our software will not work. Okay, so you need to simply insert it into one of your USB port, and it will get detected, and then we will be going for Triton IDE which is available on your desktop. Simply click on it and it will get popped up, and let me close this previous program project. Here this is your of your Triton IDE. So as already our sir has said that Triton IDE means integrated development environment. So here we are going to create a new project from this project menu, new C project, and here you need to simply give the project name as some this is our first program, so simply type it as first, and then target is 8051, variant is 89V51RD2, operating system is none, port simply select it, it automatically sets to COM1, and baud rate is 9600, and our default our project, this is location of our file will be browse to the location which we have set here, video lab, and then OK, and then video lab we are creating a new folder. Okay, so click next and then finish. It will create your first project here, and then simply click this, remove this, delete this. We are going to start from scratch. So simply right click on this first, this is our project. Now we are going to create a new source file, so hit for new and then source file, C source file. So I am giving first as our program, so first.c is our main program, and then finish. It will open up this window, and I have already copied some code here. Let us make our, this is the code which we have earlier written, and then save it by simply pressing Ctrl S, and build the program simply pressing Ctrl B. It will create an IHX file here. Okay, this IHX file we are using it for dumping purpose. So this part is for development of our IHX board, and then we will be going for FlashMagick, which is already available on the taskbar. Simply click on the FlashMagick. And this FlashMagick we need to give the source file. So here there are 4 steps here. Step 1, select the variant or your microcontroller, whatever it is, 89V51RD2, and COM port which we are using is serial port, so COM1. Baud rate is 9600, interface non-ISP. And step 2 is erase blocks used by firmware. And step 3 is our file location. We need to provide it. And here we cannot see that thing, so all files you select it, and then first .ihx select it, and then we no need to check all these things. Simply go for step 5, simply select start, and it will ask for reset the device into ISP mode. Simply reset it and it will get programmed here. Once the program is done, you can see that our kit is given, kit is being turned on. Simply press the reset button, as our sir has already said. You press simply reset, it will be making that these LEDs to turn off, as we have given only 0x00 as our input to our port 1 or output from our microcontroller to port 1 to our LEDs. So we need to change that thing to blinking mode. So simply edit this thing, uncomment this thing and save it Ctrl S and build it Ctrl B. And then in the FlashMagick simply hit the start button, because we have already selected this file. We simply go for start button and it will ask for reset the device. Simply reset it. The programming is done, and then you can see here, once I press this reset button, our LED will be blinking there now. Okay. So this is our first program.